The legal assistance reforms comes after a consultation paper was issued last year by the Ministry for Justice and the Bar Council. It also follows the case of a single mother who was not eligible because of the 50% stake she held in a government affordable home.
There are many reforms that have been enacted today and that will come into effect immediately, but I wish to speak of the main highlights of the reforms introduced. The most important one, of course, is that we're increasing the threshold for eligibility for legal assistance from £5,000, which was a figure that was set in 1990, to over £14,000, which is in effect 50% of half of a person's average salary. In addition to that, you will recall some stories about legal assistance not being allowed because persons had equity in their homes. Therefore, for the purposes of the reforms, legal assistance eligibility will be granted even in cases where people have £50,000 of equity in their homes, and even if they have £10,000, for example, in cash savings. So we've been able to significantly increase the eligibility to legal assistance, which I think we can all agree was certainly needed given the eligibility threshold of £5,000, but also ensuring that there is more robust regimes in place for the registrar to refuse legal assistance in cases that he or she considers to be unreasonable.
The government is also introducing compulsory mediation to reduce the number of cases brought before the courts.
If mediation is funded by way of legal assistance, it is more likely than not that most cases will not proceed to full hearings and litigation, because a mediator may well be able to narrow the issues between the parties and come to a resolution before full hearings are required. We also have value for money, which is why mediation does also make sense apart from unclogging the court system.
The new duty legal representative scheme will take effect from the 1st of October. It will ensure those who are detained by any law enforcement agency to be able to access legal representation 24/7.
At the moment, we have introduced a roster and a policy document between the Ministry and the Bar Council, and the Bar Council will be working with the firms so that there is a roster in place so that anyone who's detained at any time will have access to representation so that their rights are properly protected when they're being interviewed by, as I say, the RGP or any other law enforcement agency.
Well, talking about criminal law then, I'll have to ask you about the Law Commission and the work that you're doing there. You said sentencing was going to be top priority. How is that coming along?
Yes, that's right. The Law Commission has now met. On one of the meetings, it received evidence from different agencies in Gibraltar so that we could properly understand the effect of any proposals that we could be considering in respect of particularly the eligibility for parole and whether it ought to continue to be after 1/3, as is currently the case in Gibraltar, or we ought to consider either a hybrid of the UK position or have a Gibraltar-specific position.
The legal assistance reforms are a pilot project and will be formally reviewed after 3 years.